This is Marifat. We sit down here because we want knowledge of Allah. And knowledge of Allah is Tawhid. Knowledge of Tawhid. And the Sufis have said, the teachers have said things like, Tawhid is living away from your maternal land. They said things like that. And they have said also, Tawhid is traveling. But how can they say things like this? Because when we think about Tawhid, we think about the concept. And they are talking about action. Because Tawhid is not a concept. It's not an idea in your head. As if you plug in and out and they say, well, I believe in one God, and therefore I have Tawhid. No, that's not a concept. Tawhid is living, is your living. You live in Tawhid. So it is much more natural to express it in the form of actions than in the form of ideas. So God is not just one. Tawhid is something that it stays with you. It changes you. It transforms you. And that is knowledge. Knowledge is in your heart. When Shaykh al-Habib said, the cure for the illness of the people of today is Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. This is the dhikr for the people of today. It's because we have lost that sense of protection, of reliance upon Him. The reliance of the people of today is not upon Him. The reliance of the people of today is reason. And through reason, what comes is a set of complex ideas that conform society as it is today. But reason, see, what's up here ahead is not that great. It's not that great. I'm sure you look at an ant and then you say, well, it's not very clever. Well, in relation to him, we are less than an ant. We have little knowledge. We don't have much. Our capacity to concur ideas and to put them together is very, very little. And when we have thrown ourselves into changing nature, we almost destroyed it in 100 years. What it took nature to create the forest and the order of life, we nearly destroyed it in fairly very quickly period of time. At the time when reason has totally involved everybody's thinking. No, it's not reason. It's the heart. And the business of this circle of thinker is to make a discovery for you. Is that apart from this, which is like a calculator, you know, you input numbers and if it is more or less well oiled, it will give you the right answers. Alright? But a computer is not going to guide you. It cannot guide you. Reason cannot guide you. Reason can justify it. A genocide. I can justify Hitler was a very rational man. And the people who fought against it, they were and murdered just as many people. Like Stalin. He was also rational. And the people who are doing the disasters that they are doing today, they are also rational. With rational, you can justify it, anything. Murder, genocide, prostitution, and riba, anything you want. If you have no heart, you can justify anything. You can prove anything. So this is not what is going to guide you. What is going to guide you is the heart. And this business of ours is all about becoming aware of your heart and if possible, to be able to train it and to become aware of his possibilities. Because there are many. And you know some of it. You know some of it, because everybody, you have seen some teenagers, they fall in love with the oldest person always. And you know how cloudy they become. The reason disappears. They do crazy things. It clouds the love. The fear does exactly the same. When somebody's scared, he will do things that they are completely irrational. It doesn't, the brain is still there, but clearly the heart has overwhelmed love and fear, or fear and hope. These are the things that happen in your heart. You love Allah and you fear Allah. Rumi said, be careful what you fear, because that's what you worship. Be very careful what you fear, because that's what you worship. What you worship is what you fear. What you fear is what you worship. That is astonishing. That is astonishing. Because reason is not something that on its own brings you to the truth. That's false. That's completely false. All right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says very clearly, there's not enough words. There is no words in the world to describe the mighty, the sultaniya, the akbar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot describe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with all the ocean's rings and all the trees with bends. You cannot. So we cannot grasp it that way. But the heart is different. Only the heart can do it. So would it not be, I mean, if we think about the amount of effort that we dedicate to educate our children's brain, and how little we dedicate to educate them about the heart, we hardly tell them anything about it. Well, sometimes we don't even know ourselves. Then we throw them into a world where reason has become, reason can easily be irrational, or rational or irrationality. It's just an angle. So the world that we are looking at today could be, surely it will be seen in years to come as the most irrational of ever, the darkest ages. Certainly when it comes to certain matters, we have gone to the bottom. And you cannot get out of it using reason. You can only the heart can get you out of it. Understanding what this affair is for. So knowledge is in the heart of the beholder. The knowledge that you may be looking at there is already within you. That's extraordinary. So that's why when you hear something and knowledge comes to you, you have the feeling that you knew that before. It's like, I always knew that. Because of all the knowledges, the most important one is the knowledge that you have of your Lord. And there is nothing more important of that knowledge that the question that you have already answered, Alastu bi Rabbika. And you said yes. That knowledge is with you already. It's already with you, can you imagine? For all of us, without exception, even the kuffar, except the cover up. So we are here in the business of trying to find out about this matter of the heart, because this matter of the heart leads to wisdom. And with this, you will be able to see. And without it, you will be blind. You won't be able to manage fears, that they will overcome you. And you maybe even get used to them. And I know when I say these things, nobody feels that this is a matter of personal interest. Right, I'm going to show you something. Omar, please call that. What is that?
It's a paper bag. The ringgit.
This is, what does it say there? Can you read?
Satu ringgit.
Satu ringgit. Satu ringgit. So, you see, this is a ringgit. And this is actually not a ringgit. This is, I promise to pay you 1 ringgit. Most people in this country have not seen this at all. They don't know what it is. If you tell them what a ringgit is, they don't know. That is a silver coin, they will not know. That originally was a silver coin. And that when the first banks issued papers like this, it's because they promised to pay the people who had them. They promised, I will give you 1 ringgit when you come back. Come back here, I promise. I, the governor of the Bank Negara, I promise to you, and I sign it, that on demand I will deliver to you 1 ringgit that I hold on your behalf, like AMAL. That's how all the paper money started. The trick here was that instead of being a favor, you know, so if you come to me and said, could you please hold these gifts from me in AMAL, please hold them. You know, and then I would be very grateful for that. Or somebody coming to you, if you are traveling or you are in difficulties, if you want, I will look after your stuff. You will be grateful. But if somebody comes to you and he says, whether you like it or not, I'm going to keep your possessions because you are not good enough to look after them. That's not a favor anymore. That's not somebody helping you. There is no contractual relationship here, or any sense of my will or my respect over me at all. In this relationship, there is nothing but abuse and control and corruption. It's nothing but oppression. It cannot be seen as it's almost the same. Well, it's like marriage and prostitution is almost the same. There's only a little contract. It just takes only 5 minutes. It's a big difference. Big difference. But whiskey and water is almost the same. It has the same color. Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's completely different. And the amana that they're supposed to be doing, and what they do, is the difference between halal and haram. Between contractual relationships and fraud. But that's not where it ends, the story. The story is that they said, you have no choice, I'm going to give the gold and I give you this receipt. Because you are not mature enough. The story ends that then you go back to them and you say, okay, fine, thank you for holding it for me. And I didn't want to, but you came and so much insisting that I hand it over to you. And then, can I have it back now? And they said, no. No, but you promised. No, I didn't. Somebody else did. I didn't. But that's robbery. They said, no, that's not robbery. This is law. This is order. And then they will appeal to an enormous list of reasonable matters to tell you that theft is okay. I robbed you in your face, and then I tell you, like the cooler comes to you and says, no, it's fine. Look, it's better he robbed you than somebody else. So I have to be thankful, yes. Because at least it's somebody I know he's robbing me. It could be somebody else I don't know. Extraordinary. And you see, reason will not get you out of this. Will not get you out of this. You can look into it and you can understand it, because it's not difficult to understand. But it will not get you out of it. Reason will justify why you have to continue. In fact, why you have to get more of these. Reason will tell you you need more of these in order to free yourself from it. Wonderful, isn't it? Reason will justify that you continue into the machine. Because then only when you arrive to power, then you will put the things right. That's reason. The heart will tell you something very different. You care nothing of this world but Him. You love Him. You support Him. He is everything to you. You submit to Him with all your heart. And submission for us starts with a complete abandonment of our will to His will.